Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., a day on the water turns deadly.
Find that piece of closure for the family.
This morning, recovery efforts resume after a man disappeared in Cherry Creek Reservoir.
I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta. A warning from officials as boating season starts to pick up.
Mysterious outbreaks putting kids at risk.
We still don't have all the data necessary to make an informed decision about what is driving this increase in case.
The investigation launched into more than 100 cases of hepatitis, including at least one here in Colorado.
And the Avs could move on in the playoffs today if they can clinch a Game 4 win.
The hardest game is to knock the team out. They're playing for their season now, so this next game is going to be huge.
Yeah, we'll get to the Avs in a moment. We want to start with some breaking news. Traffic is starting to get moving again on southbound I-25 near 144th Street in Westminster. Those lanes, all the southbound lanes, were closed for a while this morning after a pedestrian was hit and killed on the highway.
Now, obviously, we know it's a busy stretch of highway, especially this time of morning. Denver 7 traffic expert Jason Lubert joined us because that road just reopened.
Yeah, and that's going to help us out a lot, but there still is a little bit of a tricky part in there right now. So as we said, all lanes are open on southbound I-25, but that ramp coming from 144th getting onto southbound I-25 is somewhat impeded. Let me take you to Air Tracker 7 right now, show you what's going on. So you see the activity, there's a car, and you can see the semi right here, but this is part of that ramp I was just talking about. So these folks that are coming off that ramp are going to have to jump over onto southbound I-25 into that right lane a little bit early, and that could cause a bit of a slowdown up there, at least a hazard as we're making our way through there. Right now, the drive time is only about 6 minutes, so it's not a big delay right now. If you live up there and you want to join I-25 easier, you could always use 136th Avenue. The rest of the drive looks just fine, not seeing any other significant problems, north, south, east, or west. Nice drive down here to the south side, not to the west side, Lisa. So at least the big problems this morning have been cleared up.
Yeah, and the winds aren't that bad yet, but they are going to pick up this afternoon. We're likely going to see wind gusts at around 30 to near 35 miles per hour here in town. Windier on the south side of town and then over southern Colorado. It's also going to be warm today. We're going to be in the mid to upper 40s at the bus stop this morning. Your kids will likely just want a sweatshirt, but it's t-shirt and shorts weather this afternoon. Getting home to highs right around 78 to near 80 degrees. Highlands Ranch close to that 80-degree mark. Boulder 75, 60s for the foothills. Evergreen near 70 this afternoon. So it's going to be a warm, breezy, dry day. We've seen wind gusts up and through the northern Front Range mountains and foothills upwards of around 50 miles per hour this morning. So it is going to be gustier south and west of Denver, but still fire danger remains high. That red flag warning going into effect this morning and in effect until tonight. Fire danger covering a good portion of the state and expecting this, unfortunately, you guys, for most of the week. We may see a little rain later in the week. We'll take a closer look at that on the Super 7 Day coming up.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, a fun day of boating on the lake turned deadly at Cherry Creek Reservoir over the weekend. And now rescue crews will be back out this morning searching for a man who drowned while tubing.
Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live. And Veronica, this situation has officials reminding us about safety on the water as boating season gets underway.
It does, and we're waiting for those crews to make their way out here this morning. They're expected to be around out here just in an hour or so, around 7 a.m. to pick up where they left off, start searching again for the body of that 29-year-old man who went missing Saturday evening. Colorado Parks and Wildlife say the man was riding on a tube being pulled by a boat. He fell off and he went underwater and never came back up. The Marine Evidence Recovery Team has been searching the reservoirs. Some areas are as deep as 22 feet. CPW has said the 29-year-old man wasn't wearing a life vest, and according to state law, that is required for anyone that's being towed on an inner tube. Once crews do get out here this morning, the goal is clear, and that is finding that man's body.
All agencies involved at this point are trying to find a little bit find that piece of closure for the family, and our condolences really go out to the family members in situations like this.
And the team's goal was actually to search overnight last night into this morning. That didn't happen because the high winds didn't allow for it. This morning, again, they're expected to be here right around 7 a.m. and the reservoir is closed for boating today. We're live in Aurora. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Yeah, well, it is that time of year, Veronica, and there were several other water rescues along the Front Range. South Metro Fire and Arapahoe County deputies rescued someone at Chatfield Reservoir over the weekend, and Poudre Fire Authority responded to a call of a missing paddleboarder and kayaker at Horsetooth Reservoir. Those people were found safe.
That's good. More violence in Denver over the weekend, and now police are investigating 3 separate double shootings. The latest was just a half block from the 16th Street Mall, where 2 men were shot but are expected to be okay. Happened around 2:30 Sunday morning. Police have not released any suspect information in that one. No arrests have been made after 2 people were shot near Colorado Boulevard and 29th Avenue. Again, the victims are expected to be okay, but we are learning new information about the victims of a double shooting Friday outside of an Enterprise rent-a-car on Broadway. Patrick Hune was killed, and his wife Shannon is still in critical condition today. Both of them are visiting from Ohio, and they were renting a car when DPD says a random man shot them. We spoke to a family friend who is devastated and says the couple has 2 sons.
Praying for the whole family, including Shannon, Ben, and Brian, that, they just lost their Shannon's husband and their Ben and Brian's father so tragically.
So police have arrested a man for the shooting. He's been charged with first-degree murder.
We all want healthy families. That's why we're flagging you this morning about a mysterious outbreak of hepatitis affecting kids. The CDC says it's investigating more than 100 cases in several states, at least one of those cases in Colorado. Denver 7's Christian Lopez is live. And Christian, the CDC has a list of symptoms parents can watch out for.
And some of those symptoms include fatigue, dark urine, and yellowing of the skin. At least 109 kids have gotten sick. 5 of them have died. And all of these cases have happened over the past 7 months across 25 different states. Hepatitis is an inflammation of the liver. It's not uncommon in children, but normally it's not severe. The CDC says more than 90% of these children were hospitalized. 14% required a liver transplant. A majority of the kids, though, have fully recovered, but officials say more than half of them had the adenovirus.
Having this cluster of cases, especially with the numbers of hospitalizations and the 5 deaths, is very concerning. We still don't have all the data necessary to make an informed decision about what is driving this increase in cases.
And around 200 cases are being investigated globally. Live in Denver this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Christian. In the last 5 years, we've seen cases of measles, mumps, and whooping cough here in Colorado. These are all vaccine-preventable illnesses. The latest vaccination statistics, though, in Colorado show that we are number 10 in the country for the worst vaccination rates for childhood diseases. And nationwide, there was a 1% drop in vaccination rates during the 2020-2021 school year. Experts say a 1% drop is even more impactful in our state because fewer kids here were vaccinated.
I think the impact will be more and more kids will be susceptible to the common illnesses that we thought had gone away: measles, mumps, whooping cough, things like that. We may see an uptick in those because there are more unprotected kids in the population. And these disorders, particularly measles, are extremely contagious.
And Dr. Washington stresses that vaccines to prevent measles, mumps, rubella, and polio have been around a long time and are extremely effective. We checked with the state health department, and in the last 5.5 years, we've had nearly 2,000 cases of whooping cough in Colorado, also 230 cases of mumps and 4 cases of measles. We have not had any cases of rubella or polio. The Avs could put the first round of the playoffs to bed tonight.
That's right. Yeah. Game 4 against the Predators is tonight at 7:30 in Nashville. The Avs have dominated so far. They have a 3-0 advantage, but team captain Gabe Landeskog cautions that anything can happen.
They got their backs against the wall at home. They're going to want to, they definitely don't want to get swept at home, and we want to try to end this thing and don't give them any life. So it's going to be a big game on Monday.
Yeah, Avs goalie Darcy Kemper, by the way, will be out for Game 4. He was able to escape what would have been a serious eye injury when the Predators' Ryan Johansson put his stick into Kemper's face mask right there. Kemper then dropped to the ice holding his eye. Head coach Jared Bednar said aside from swelling, though, there doesn't appear to be any other complications. Thankfully, could have been a lot worse. Johansson later told reporters it was unintentional and made him sick to his stomach. So he was happy to hear Kemper will be okay as well.
We're all just going, ugh.
Yeah, let's stop showing that. Yeah. What is that, like a half-inch void, too, between the mask
and the...
Exactly, freak accident. We'll be in the 50s in the mountains today. Chance for some scattered rain and snow showers. Tomorrow, 60s, more sunshine. Today in town, warm, dry, and breezy. I'm going to show you just how hot it's going to get later this week, coming up here on the Super 7 Day.
And right now, the drive overall doesn't look too bad, as we're not seeing any big problems right now on the drives. You can see southbound I-25 passing 88th Avenue and 84th. It's getting busier down here to downtown Denver. Overall, around 20 minutes on this commute. The rest of the drive is also getting busier, like on I-76 and 270. Those drive times coming up in just a bit.
Ready for backyard barbecue season? We'll have the top inexpensive upgrades to improve your space for summer.
Plus, the Colorado Brewery is getting some global recognition after winning gold in the World Beer Cup.